those of you who have a criminal record, just move aside so we don't get it on the tape. When I hold workshops in New York, 10 people move to the side. As I said, we're going to go into the snake chi waking form this morning, and it's one of my favorite forms. The snake is representative of, again, there's different types of water. The monkey is representative of the lake. That's what we did yesterday. So the lake is all sparkling and rippling. That's what, it's all like that. The snake is representative of a fast-flowing river. So that's what the snake, the movements of the snake represent the fast-flowing river. And as such, a fast-flowing river is also a food source, it's an energy source. So the snake represents the spleen in Chinese medicine, but also, of course, being water, works upon the kidneys, the liver, as well as the bladder. So you're pretty well getting a whole body work over as far as Chinese medicine is concerned. Of course, as I said yesterday, all of these forms also work upon all of the organs in the body, especially the life force. So, and this one as well. The snake, of course, does not. Snakes don't have personalities, although I've had some pretty personable snakes. We used to have a snake living in our shed, a big carpet snake, and half of his face was eaten away because when they hibernate in the winter, the rats come and get their own back, and they actually eat them a bit. So he was a bit like this. So it was very hard for him to catch his own food. So I used to go and feed him, and snakes don't eat dead food, of course, they only eat warm things. But it got to the stage where I'd just get some mincemeat and warm it up, and I would go in and I'd just touch him on the head, and he would just open his big mouth. His mouth was about that big, and he'd just open it like that, and I'd just drop the meat in, you see, and then the peristaltic action takes over in it, and it goes down. And even my wife got to the stage when I had to come over here to teach from time to time. My wife had to go in, and that was the thing to get her to do that. And we used to have to go in and drop some water into his mouth as well because it was very hot. And she actually said, you know, as soon as she walked in, the snake would come out, and then he'd just open his mouth. And scientists will tell you that's impossible because, of course, the snake only has a reptile brain. You know, it's nothing. It's just totally a thing. You know, it has no personality or anything. But this snake I really loved. So snakes, they just shoot out automatically at anything that's happening. This is what the reptile brain's about. Reptiles only have the one brain system, and they totally work upon subconscious things. So if you've got an alligator or a reptile, a big crocodile as we have in Australia, the crocodile doesn't think. It doesn't say, oh, I'm going to wait for this person to come over to me and then I'm going to grab it on the leg and do a roll and rip his leg off. He doesn't think any of that. He simply waits there and he works on the switches, the born switches that it has in its body. And someone comes and he knows automatically, he doesn't even look at you. He's just looking like this, using this vision that we learn about in the martial arts. And when the person is within range, that's when he'll strike, and then he's back to sleeping again. He doesn't even know he's done that, except that he feels better because he's full. That's how reptiles work. Same with snakes. I've had some amazing experiences with snakes, and their power of striking is just amazing. So that's what this form is all about. It's taking that subconscious reaction. So the movements in the snake, there's only one real leg movement, are mostly done with the hands to the movements of the snake, and they're very, very quick. In fact, they're explosive. They're all done with. That's your first move. Of course, I'm going to teach you how to do it, but that's the first move. There's the snake, you see. So it's just a totally fudging or explosive attacking motions that the snake does, and it never gives us a snake attacks 3 different ways depending upon the snake. I had these chickens. I didn't have them for long. we brought these chickens up, and we had lots of chickens free range roaming around our various farms, and they used to sit out, the kitchen wall was there, and there was an old tank and a water tank stand out there, which you didn't, and then all the chickens would go to sleep up there. And I would just happen to get up as I normally would at 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning, and I would do a little bit of form, because that was the right time to do it. And I just happened to see out this snake. He's about 8 foot long, and he's just hanging from outside down like this. And here's all the chickens here, you see. Oh, quick, get the video camera. So I rushed back, got the video camera, putting a thing in, and just as I was putting it in, he struck the first chicken, and he didn't bite the chicken. This was a revelation to me. He struck the chicken in the stomach 9 point with his head, with his nose. And mind you, this snake's head was this big, and it was like, he was like this, and then all of a sudden, the chickens don't worry because it's just a dead thing hanging there, because it's cold as well. And so I just saw him go like this. He just loaded up, and then he just went boom, straight into the chicken's neck. The chicken just went, it was asleep anyway, but it just went boom, like this. Then he strangled it with his body, and then I've still got from then onwards on the video camera, and the last thing you see, I mean, this chicken was this big, and it was I showed it to people, and they're going, and there's just to see these 2 legs hanging out. I had to save a snake once because he attacked an Australian magpie. It's different than the European magpie. It's just got the same colouring. It's a big bird, but it hasn't got the long tail. It's got a very long, very sharp beak, and the snake had swallowed him. And it was like this, there's a beak, and he couldn't get it down, so I had to get this bloody snake and manoeuvre this beak around. He didn't think I was doing him a favour at all. And he's trying to wrap around me, and then he could get the damn chicken, because you can't get things out of a snake once the automatic peristaltic action has taken over. You see, snakes have been known to attack a cat, and they miss and get it. One case they got a towel, and because the peristaltic action had taken over, he can't stop, even though he knows, it's not food. Down goes this towel, so they had to take him to the vet, operate on him to get this bloody towel out of the snake. So that's what the snake's all about. You all have to go home and eat towels now. So that's what we're going to learn this morning. Okay, let's start off right from scratch. Right foot forward again. What's called a power stance. 1 foot straight, the rear foot is straight, whilst the front foot is slightly across it. Let me come over here, Ben. Hands in the normal starting position again, much like we did yesterday. The right hand this time is a little bit turned like this though. See? Yeah, like that. Like the head of a snake. Australian snakes strike from anywhere. The cobra, Indian snakes, they always strike like, the classic snake position. They strike like this. It only has one striker. You can actually get up close to a cobra, put your hand around, distract it here and put your hand around, just touch it on the head and push it down. Because it's got no way of knowing what's behind. But Australian snakes strike from the side. They can even strike backwards. So, we've got an Australian snake here. First move is, much like the hinge, you don't actually have to put the hung on top, it's just whack, like so. So it just turns over like this. Notice the position of the hand, it's not up like this, it's down like this. Eli? In order, see if I put my hand up better, I'm going to miss the attack. Eli's throwing a punch with this hand. I've got to catch it here, see? See my hands slightly under it. So, it's like that. It's not like this, down 90 degrees to it. It's like so. So the palm is sort of pointing along his arm like this.